Namaskaram, namaskaram. Oh, my head is kind of long. You know, I have this thing where I keep telling everybody, yeah, I'm growing my hair, like my siblings, right? I'm growing my hair, and then I end up getting it cut only because I had it smoothened, and oh gosh, okay, I don't want to say it's the worst decision I've ever made, but it's the best decision I've ever made for my hair. My hair is so wonderful now. But yeah, so I was trying to get rid of the bits that were smoothened. Hey Vinay, good to see you too. How are you? We were meant to be going to the cinema, but my brother's gone to get his good evening DJ. My brother's gone to get his hair cut, so we're gonna be a little bit late going there. So I thought, why not go YouTube Live? And thank you, Sunny. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I was just recording some YouTube videos. Oh god, what movie? Oh god, okay. We're going to watch wait, sorry, let me just turn my Wi-Fi off. So yeah, I wanted to go and do something, so I don't know, I guess cinema is like the thing. I really need to move out of like England and go somewhere where they have different activities, maybe just a beach or something, you know, so I can just go to the beach and just sit there rather than it doesn't even have to be Hey Greg, I'm well, thank you. I keep going live when I'm busy. Oh no, you're gonna have to tell me when you're not busy, and then I'll have to go live. I'm so glad that you said hello. I hope your day is going wonderfully. But yeah, the movie is called The Predator. It's I think it's about aliens. It's sci-fi. I love any movie that's kind of sci-fi-ish because it's very advanced, right? It's very creative. It's very out of the box. Please visit museum and show us what is inside. It's so funny you say that, Vinay. I went to a museum recently, actually, a few days ago. I went to it was a museum and an art gallery, and it had like a, what did it have, an exhibition of Ozzy Osbourne, which was really interesting. बहुत cold night है तुम्हारे जाएंगे पर्दे and hot what? I'm doing a massive spring clean with the family, so not exactly a wonderful day, lol. That sounds like a fun day, I'm not gonna lie, Greg. I mean, it sounds like work, but you are going to feel so good after that. And the energy cleansing that is going on, it's gonna work wonders for you. So yeah, the best things in life aren't always the most pleasurable, right? But what I also learned recently, the thing that feels pleasurable, right? Like in life we chase pleasures, right? We run away from pain and we chase pleasures. But anything that is pleasurable will actually bring you pain, right? Because you could lose that thing. So therefore you lose the pleasure that it brought. Whereas when we're content, we don't have anything that we are going, like there's nothing outside of us making us content. We are just content the way that we are, right? देख रहे हो इंडियन है सही से हिंदी नहीं बोल पा रहे है सोचो इंडिया का क्या होगा हिंदी तो मैं बोल पाती हूँ, मुझे कभी कभी पढ़ने में दिक्कत होती है. Hey everybody, welcome Lakshmandi. But yeah, the whole pleasure thing, you know, like for example, eating food, like eating something sweet, drinking something sweet, drinking alcohol, it feels good, right? It feels pleasurable. But there's pain, there's a hangover, there's the possible diabetes. I don't want to make anybody scared, but there's problems on the other side of things that are pleasurable. That is the point, okay? That comment for DJ because he was writing wrong Hindi. Okay, right, okay. Because I was gonna say I couldn't read that Hindi. I just stopped even like attempting to read that Hindi. Hello Priya ji, kaise ho? Bas chardi kala ji. Maharaj di kripa hai. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਪਰ ਇਨਕਮ ਟੈਕਸ ਰੇਟ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਇਨਕਮ ਟੈਕਸ ਮੁਝ ਇਨਕਮ ਟੈਕਸ ਰੇਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕਮਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਹਨਾ Hi Chloe, welcome. I know you speak very well Hindi. You speak Hindi just like my English. Okay, let's chill out, Vinay. It's too early to be I'm sensitive about my Hindi, okay? There's not many things I'm sensitive about, but my Hindi, yeah. I think it's just I have this thing where I love Hindi. I think especially when people speak it, like it's just the most attractive thing to hear someone speak Hindi. I just fall in love. I think it's because I used to watch you know like Bollywood movies. Maybe it's from there. I don't know. Hindi or Punjabi, to be honest. ਸਾਡੀ ਤਾਂ ਬਸ ਹੋਈ ਪਈ ਅੱਜ ਅੱਛਾ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ Assalamu alaikum. The whole world is her home. Why are you limiting her to language only, etc.? We come here for spiritual discussions on these things. Yeah, sweet. We welcome everybody, welcome. So today I was filming and I want to talk a little bit about what I was talking about because it was you know, it's fresh on my mind and it's something that we can all take away something from. It was about victim mentality because recently I spoke to someone and you know he was I've spoken to this person numerous times now, like a couple of times, and he was saying how you know he feels like something is missing in his life. And when he said that, I knew exactly what it was, because something that Eckhart Tolle actually wrote in his book, right? He said, and something that other like spiritual texts and teachings and sages and enlightened beings say, and something that I know to be true in my own life, is that life feels meaningless unless you live with the divine truth. You know, unless you live with a connection with God or yourself, because both are synonymous with each other. Until you know that, until you feel the fact that you are not your thoughts or your emotions or your beliefs, until you get to that point, until you taste the sweetness of what it feels like to be there, you will continue to feel like something is missing in your life. That's it. That's the truth. People who are connected to God, people who are connected to themselves, people who have spiritual practice, whatever it is, you know, people who live in the present moment, you don't even have to be connected to God. As long as you're living in the present moment, you are going with the flow, you are listening to yourself, you are in your inner world, you're living life from the inside out. Until then, you will not feel fulfilled. You will not feel contentment. Hey Glowing Phoenix, and thank you Pretty. It's kind of coming off now. I just wanted to go, but it's okay. All in good time, right? She left India when Britishers left India after giving freedom to India. Do you think you're Cleopatra or something, Mrs. Fancy Pants? I am. No, I'm not Cleopatra. I'm Priya, actually. Why do you say that? How many years ago did I leave India? Wait, okay, I'm 26 years ago I left India. I know, right? People keep asking, there's more interesting things here to learn other than where am I from, am I married, or whatever, you know? You come here, you trust me, there's so much more available to you than just that. Like, those facts are just boring. I became your permanent viewer, lol. You know, Glowing Phoenix, I'm so happy for you, and you're always welcome here, so thank you for coming. As Mark calls it, it's the art of staying, living with the divine in every moment. Yes, just finished the sync, by the way. Woo! Love that for you. Love that for you. Yeah, just the art of staying. I mean, what, you know, Ananda Ma is what Greg is talking about, who Greg is talking about. And one of the things that I loved about what she said, about what she taught, right, the wisdom that she imparted, she said, every minute that is not dedicated to God, like devoted in the remembrance of God, I think this is what she said. This is what I got from her, okay? Is wasted. You know, remembering God in every moment saves you. And I get why japa and mantra japa and simran in Sikhism is so encouraged. It is so important to constantly be chanting and repeating mantras, you know, because it constantly keeps you going back to the truth. It reminds you of your connection to God, of your divine truth. Because what happens when we enter the world, right, this 3D world, things are vying for our attention, right? Problems, social media, your phone, your family, your friends, things outside of you want your attention, and your attention is your most valuable currency. And everything that takes your attention away from God, they call Maya. Like in Sikhism, I remember this guy, you know, he said anything that takes your attention away from God is Maya. You know, and you have to be careful about that, because Maya is always trying to take your attention away from God, because it's like a learning thing, right? To be able to constantly remember God in every moment. You pray for me, please. Okay. What am I praying for, Kopesh? Is something up? You were raised Sikh. I was not raised Sikh, no. Can you please discuss my spiritual topic? These keep asking these questions. Yeah, I think I've been discussing the spiritual part topic. By the way, do you have any other interesting topics like astral projection? Glowing phoenix, I don't. You know, they may be more interesting, but this one I'm talking about, like if you can just get this, like if you can like lock in with what I'm teaching right now, you will eliminate suffering, right? And you'll experience things that are beyond astral projection. You won't just need to send your soul out from your body to go travel the universe. You'll understand that you are the universe. You'll get a sensation of that. You'll access higher levels of consciousness with that, you know? And astral projection will just be like, meh. So it may not feel that interesting, but these are important things. These are fundamental things. What have I stumbled upon? Thank you, HD. Is it okay? The thing you mentioned about chanting. Yeah, see, chanting is a thing everywhere, because I mean in Islam they have this machine, right? I saw it. It's a really cool machine. So you chant, and I'm not sure what they chant. Maybe it's God's name, maybe it's like Allah, 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 and then it counts how many times you chant it. The thing is, look, it's not about counting, because there are, you know, people who say, oh, you should chant so many hundreds of thousands of times, and then you can have a wish fulfilled or something like that. But that's like a means to an end, right? It's not for a reason. It's just to connect, because there's devotion in your heart, there's love in your heart, and you want to stay connected with God, because God is the truth. You know, everything else is just an illusion, really. Are you, what are you, were you about to say? Are you about to say I am? I was about to say I am Cleopatra. Then I thought, you know what? I don't. Well, technically, I'm everything and everyone, right? Because I'm consciousness, and there is only one. And then I thought, no, I don't. Like, I'm me, you know. But even that's like who's that? It's like an identity thing again. You come across this. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you. Hi, Samrat. Because do you remember earlier I told you when you said rest is the highest form of faith, that in nafs mutmina type of ego, some other terminology has transformed it into higher two. There are 2 or 3. Okay. Bonjour, bonjour. You know, Naqshbandi, I feel like my mom would love to speak to you, because she's very into Sufism, and I feel like you know a lot about Sufism. And if you're still here, my mom came on live a few weeks ago, and you weren't there, so I keep forgetting to tell you that you missed it. I don't know how that's gonna benefit your life in any way. I just felt like I had to get it out there. Okay. What is chanting? For example, if you chant money, money, money while you walk in the streets, people will give money. If you chant slap, 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 people will slap you. That's why people chant God, God, because they want God. Yeah, I guess so. You know, see, one of the best explanations that I got about chanting, you know, about, for example, chanting God's name, and it could be anything. It's God's name, you know. There are an infinite paths to her abode. So it could be Allah, it could be Ram, it could be Waheguru, it could be God, it could be whatever you want it to be. What happens when we call someone by their name, right? If you like if you say prayer, right, you're summoning me, you're summoning my entire being, right? Because my name refers to my entire being. That is what my name is, right? It's Priya. It's all of me. So when we summon God's name, we summon God. God is right in front of you. That's why it's so powerful. And I couldn't understand this before, but honestly, she cleared up so many things for me. So I'm very grateful for her. Tu parles français. Je parle on parle français. Oui. Next time with your mom, inshallah discussion. Yeah. Oh, I miss your mom. I'll catch her next time. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure you'll catch her a good time. She's busy at the moment, but well, maybe I can organize a specific time where she comes and she speaks, you know. Okay. God comes in human soul, and soul is shapeless just like God. Exactly. Oui, tu parles bien français, tu arrives à comprendre et à les parler. I speak good French. Tu arrives, you have understood, you have learned. Tu arrives, you've arrive, something you've understood to talk. Is that you're precious to her, sweetheart? Quel est ton prénom? Je m'appelle Priya. God is one, but with infinite names. You're right. I will write here some like in Arabic. Ghafur, the one who forgives, Rahman, Rahim. He is who is merciful. See, with names, I think there is no one right name and there is no wrong name, right, to refer to God. It is whatever feels good to you, whatever sparks some love in you, sparks some emotion in you, whatever feels good vibrationally to you is the name for you. Is it though, because you existed before name was given to you, but I don't associate my name to my whole being. It's part of me, but it's kind of in the mental construct. See, I understand what you're saying, and you're completely right. You're completely right, because my name isn't who I am. I'm consciousness at the end of the day, right? And it is a identity. But in terms of when we talk about referring to God, when we chant God's name, we're referring to the energy, to the entity that is God, right? Because I am like, Priya is just a human identity, a temporary identity, whereas God's name, that's God, that's the truth, you know? So it's different in that sense. You only speak Portuguese and Spanish. Okay. Hola, ¿cómo estás? How many languages you know? I know a little bit from, just like a tiny bit from French and Spanish, but Punjabi, Hindi, I can understand Urdu as well, and English. They are all our creators' holy names because our source is one. Exactly, our source is one, and the paths are, it's whatever path you want to take, you know. You have free will in that sense. Whatever takes your fancy, whatever you're called upon. This is so true. I used to be uncomfortable with the word God. I prefer terms like the divine or the one. Oh, I love that for you. Yeah, I think God can be, it's overused, right? It's overused. It kind of, it's become a little bit hollow because of the weight of the things that you have been taught. Je me suis abonnée attention. Je reviendrai. Je te souhaite une bonne journée à toi et toute l'Amérique. Okay, Shemuk, I mean, we're really pushing me with the French here. But you know what? Okay, je me suis abonné. I was going to return to America. Is that what you're saying? अरे बड़े हमारी हिंदी गोरे dude, I wish I could understand French. Yeah, dude, me too. Tu es en Angleterre ou en Amérique? Je suis Angleterre. Thank you, Grace. And as we've discussed before, the word God has been misused through the ages. Yes, exactly. Hello, Vicky. Really happy to see me every day when I see you live. Oh, likewise. Are you Indian? I am Indian. Please don't limit yourself. This is the end. No, this is not the end. It is beyond. We can't comprehend it by our senses. That is the world. But this is something that we are here to recognize, to awake. French look side of it. So yeah, you know, I actually started reading this book on mantras and why mantras are so important, because that's what I hear, right? When I watch like when I sit with my mom and we both watch something spiritual together, like a spiritual like a person like Sant Premanandji. I don't know if you guys, some of you may have heard of him. You know, he says Nam Japo, you know, like chant God's name, chanting is so important. So I wanted to see, because I realized that that's something that I like looking at why this is a good thing, you know, the science kind of behind it, the logic behind it, the reasoning behind it. It doesn't even have to be science, just the reasoning behind something, because I find that it encourages me to do it more, first of all. Second of all, it just makes things, I like making sense of things. I like learning like the depth of why something needs to be done. So yeah, I mean, even in Sikhism, you know, they say Nam Japo. It's such an important thing. But yeah, I've started reading it, and it's a little bit from the Hinduism, like the pathway of Hinduism, and how about Shivji and Devi, and how Shivji, which is the, you know, represents the divine masculine energy in the world, and how Shivji created the universe, and it was different sounds, and it reminded me that in Christianity, you know, I'm pretty sure it says something like existence was created with the word, right? With the sound, with the word. And it makes sense, because sound, for there to be sound, there has to be movement. If there is no movement, there can be no sound. And then so sound can be kinetic energy or potential energy, right? And what is life? Life is kinetic energy. It is energy vibrating, or potential energy, right? Depending on whether that thing is being observed or not. Does that make sense? Je trouve très jolie. Je t'aide. You find me beautiful. Very intelligent. And I'm welcome. I'm very welcome in France. Merci beaucoup. Because, you know, it's like beloved and lover in Tasawwuf. Sufism, because unlimited has to be there. Wow. Yeah, the beloved and the lover, Nam Japo, is doing dhikr, remembering. Wow. In Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna says, accept all religions but never leave your own religion. Oh, interesting. It's Vishnu who created the universe, isn't it? I think it was Shivji. And the word is Om, which has become Amen in Christianity. Wow, Greg, I did not know that. Yeah, because that's what Osho says, right, in his book, that it's Ek Omkar rather than Ek Onkar, which is really interesting, and I didn't know. And I wonder if people in like Sikhi know that it was that. But I want to kind of circle back to the beloved and the lover. They speak a lot about this in Sikhism as well, right? They call the soul bride. and then God is the beloved, and it's this like beautiful relationship between the beloved and the soul bride. And so Layla and Majnun, right, is a very famous romantic story, like a story about lovers that existed, right? Layla and Majnun. Then we have Romeo and Juliet, right? And you know what's really interesting? That all of these movies, Layla and Majnun, there's another one. Layla Majnun, who's the other one? I know there's another one as well. But it's really interesting that both of them die. I believe that there's some sort of death that happens. So I watched Layla and Majnun, right? It's a film on Netflix if you'd like to watch it. And I didn't watch the end because I was scared that I wouldn't be able to be emotionally resilient enough to watch it, and that I may get upset, you know. That's me trying to escape pain, feelings of unpleasantness and pain and sadness. But what my mom said was that towards the end, because Layla and Majnun, they fell in love with each other, deeply in love with each other, but their families wouldn't allow them to be together. So Layla ended up getting married to someone else, and Majnun was mourning not being with her, and eventually gets to the stage where they're nearly together. They can be together, and then it gets to the point where he doesn't even want to be with her because all he sees is her. It's finding God through your lover. Does that make sense? Like in Sufism, they talk a lot about this. Where they have the let me think of the word, a murid, right? They have a person who's the student, and then they have the teacher, which is like the guru, or the like the fakir or something like that. And there's a love, there's a sense of devotion between them that is so deep that through your guru, through your teacher, you find God because you devote yourself so much. Like Bulleh Shahji, right? He danced for his guru, even though he was of a lower caste than him, and everybody was saying to him, what are you doing, this is crazy, why would you do this? But he saw God in him. Naam Japo Dhikr in Arabic is a tool in Sufism. It cleans your heart from all the garbage. That's exactly what they say in Sikhism as well, that Naam Japna cleanses the vessel that we have, Constitution. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, with Japana, it gets to the stage where, so the thing is, when you jump, right, you're remembering God, but when you can just become present in every single moment, like you're fully intoxicated with the present moment, there is no need to physically chant because you're one with God at all times anyway, because God exists here and now, right? The present moment is all that we have. Welcome, I'm godly. Hindi थोड़ी सी आती है. No, sorry. Stories are powerful, though. That was our main way of passing on wisdom for generations. They are very powerful. Okay, well, I'm behind a little bit. Layla Majnun, fire moth who burns himself in love, etc. There are many war pairs like this, beloved and loved in Sufism, Dalil, Murid, etc. A lot of words are there, but meanings are different. Okay. Great architect of the universe was Vishwakarma, God sent by Brahmadev. Okay. Mera dil, you turn around, Hello, Priya, how are you? And what is the subject at hand? Hey, Cipriano. The subject at hand is the subject at the moment of the relationship, the relationship between the beloved and the lover. I mean, it could be like the soul bride and the beloved. It could be the student with the teacher, not in that school sense, but like a guru. Yeah, the tongue chance gets over the stage when you reach there. Wish my grandma's created bro. Yeah, just the relationship between them. You know, I mean, I was speaking to my mom about this, about if you can devote yourself to anything, if you can do anything with deep presence, with that deep presence, devotion, unconditional love, then you can find God, because those are the traits of God, right? God is in devotion. God is unconditional love. God is in the presence. God is the witness. Because what happens is when you fully devote yourself to someone, there's a death of you, right? Because that's the point I was trying to get onto. Like, these lovers, they died, or they had an identity death, right? They forget who they are and they become so immersed in their lover. And it represents an ego death, because that's what, for you to be merged with God, for there to be oneness, there has to be a death of the ego, you know, that, well, like a death or an integration, but there has to be an awareness that, and a sense of embodiment of just God, that there is only God. So whenever someone talks about Ekong God, right, it means there is only God. There is only God. You know, people are like, where's God? Where do I find God? What God do you pray to? I mean, there's only God. What do you mean? You know? There's only God. Everything is God. You just can't escape God. God's there. God's there. God's there. God's everywhere. You know? Am I Hindu? I'm not Hindu or Muslim. There is a thing in Arabic, man rafa nafshu faqad rafa rabbuhu, meaning the one who knows himself knows his Lord. And very true. I mean, that is why whenever I talk about having a connection with God, I always like to preface it and say that is synonymous with you, and not you as in, like, if someone said that to me, it wouldn't be Priya and God, right? It's not Priya the identity. It's beyond Priya. It's who Priya really is. And, you know, understanding this truth of who you are, this is why chanting is so important, right? Because it reminds you of God, and then you are God, not Priya, but you, the truth of you at the basic level, who you are is founded in God, right? So then you have an awareness of God, and then you carry this awareness with you all the time. So you live with the divine truth. And when you live within divine truth, you don't function like everybody else. You live a very different life compared to everybody else. You know, for me personally, what I've been realizing is, whoa, I'm more aware of the distinction between how far out I am in my external world compared to how far in deep I am in my internal world. Because what you'll find is that the more you are connected with God, the more you go inwards. You know, these people who can go live in solitude, who are just praising God and they're just meditating. I know how they can do that now. I get it. Other people, they look at them and you think, oh my God, you're so weird. How could you be alone? What, are you not bored? What are you doing? You know, do you not want to have some pleasures? Do you not want to eat the best food, wear the best clothes, or talk to someone, have a conversation, have some banter? But I get it now. I would have been one of those people, but I get it now. I get why, because that is the truth, you know? Being one with God, feeling the presence of God in your life is your only source of peace, love, and joy. Eckhart Tolle says this in his book. You know, he says how anything else you feel in life are just like little bits of joy that are on the other side of pain, right? Because there's pleasure and pain. So when we have pleasure, right, we think it's joy, right? But on the other side of that, we have pain. So it's not true joy, because joy, love, and peace are states of being. They're not emotions. And they can only be felt when you're not being in this identity, when you're being the witness, when you're being present. Hey Naman. God is a faithful living without doing wrong. I believe in God because for the right path, not because God is real, not just I don't know God exists, or not just for peace. God is faithful living. Okay. It is the ultimate satisfaction. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right? Bro, I got which book did you just mention? I missed that. So it's The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I recently read it because I was on a train journey, and I picked a book, and it was that one, and I was really glad that I started reading it. I don't know if you've read it, Greg, but I would recommend it for sure. Add it onto your list. Hey, wait, what are you doing on Earth? I studied the angels from heaven. Funny. Oh, my brother's back. Jason! Jason, look in the car. Jason! Should we get my Oh, The Power of Now is the book that changed your life. I love that. Do you want to come and say hello? Come.
Okay.
Say hey. No.
See you later.
Okay. Your hair looks good.
Thank you.
Let's see it properly. Looks nice. What did you get?
Just a taper here. Got a bit shaved here and then got loads of the
Looks really
Nice.
interesting. Okay. Okay. Priya will what's black energy? Black energy? Like black black magic? Is that what you're talking about? It was the first spiritual book I read some years ago. I often listen to Eckhart on YouTube. I'm so glad that you've read it too. I haven't. To say I've read it all would be an overstatement. I've read about 20 pages, and I loved it. Honestly, I loved it. I'm definitely gonna make some time and read the whole thing. But I'm not surprised that it really helped you. I mean, it has everything in there, right? Everything that I discuss here contained all of that, and then some. Black magic exists. Yeah, it does exist. It's okay, because there's free will in this life, right? God isn't controlling. God just lets us do whatever we want, you know, and everything manifests. So duality exists. Black magic exists, and I'm not saying this because I've heard it from other people, because I have actually heard about this from other people, but I have experienced it happening to someone very close to me. You know, so I've seen it firsthand. This is why conversations like this are so important, because when you have a connection with God, you get spiritual protection, okay? And you need spiritual protection because you are at the mercy of things like black magic and negative energy around you. If you don't have a strong auric field, you know, an energy field around you, if you aren't rooted and grounded within your being, within your vessel, within God, then these things can happen. And that's not to like scare you, but I think it's good to be vigilant. Like I said, if I hadn't experienced it firsthand, I probably wouldn't have believed it either, you know. But yeah, spiritual protection is super important. That's why God and connecting with God is super important. And knowing that God, the way to connect to God is through you. You, like, connecting to God can never be from outside of you. There's also something else I wanted to discuss quickly. You know, there was this meme that I saw, and it said, oh, when you first get into spirituality compared to what you think spirituality is compared to what spirituality actually is. And it had a picture of crystals, incense sticks, you know, tarot cards, things like that. Like, that's what people think spirituality is. But what is spirituality? And it had nothing, because that's the truth. Spirituality is inwards. There's nothing outside of you. You need to increase your spirituality. These are just things that take you away from yourself because you are the source. So someone asked me recently about you know, what do you think of angel numbers? I used to believe in angel numbers. You know, I used to look and think, oh wow, oh my god, 222, 111, I'm meant to be, blah blah blah. Like, I think they're great, whatever, but I just don't look at that anymore because I know my power lies within me. Of course it's 111, like I decided it. You know, it's a good reminder, but what I'm trying to say is don't place emphasis outside of you. Don't give anything power outside of you. Don't give tarot cards power outside of you. If a tarot card reading says, oh, this is like this or this is like this, don't give it your power, right? It's your belief. It's you that is the source of everything. There's a whole university to educate about black magic. Maybe exists some celebrities do this, which is, you know, ringtone. A lot of people do this. It happens a lot in Africa. It happens a lot in India. It happens a lot in Pakistan. It happens a lot in England. It happens everywhere. In fact, not only does it happen on a micro level, it happens on a macro level. War is black magic because blood is the most powerful thing that you can use for black magic, right? And what happens in war? Blood is spilled, right? The blood of innocent people is spilled. It's all black magic. What does God tell you about me? Interesting question. What does God tell you? I'm not sure. That, I don't know, you pique my curiosity, I think, with the things you say sometimes. Does this black magic have the ability to kill a person? Actually, most religious believe in black magic. Yeah, it does have the ability to kill people. Priya Rafa Presud is my name. I love that name. You can't do black magic without taking permission of Lord Shiva. If he says yes, then only you can do, and also you need power of Shakti for that magic, and I will not say to do, I will say not to do these things. Yeah, do not. And you're a Scorpion. Okay, in the book recently I read, it explains about protection that's given from different natural materials. Oh wow, interesting. Tell us more. Bro, I think it's black for name. Have you ever read any book on Jiddu Krishnamurti? Could you answer me in French? I don't understand English very well. Oh god, answering French. Oh gosh, I feel like God has heard my prayers where God, you know, I said, God, please teach me more French. Non, je n'ai oh god. Je ne lire is to read, right? Je ne lis le book, le Krishnamurti, no? Oui. Black magic is true. You have to use lost souls to do black magic. You need to give them what they want, then they will do what you want. Yeah, exactly. Hey Umar, thank you so much. Hope you're well too. Welcome to my live. Like black magic can do physical things. For example, if I want prayer to do a black flip, I can do it with black magic. Like people book a witch to make a person downfall. Exactly. And I was watching this movie about Guru Nanak Ji and his life, and you know, he went into this cave, and there were these two individuals who sannyasis, right? These people who leave life and society and their families and they go and meditate. Well, they had gone there, and then there's this guy that always traveled with Guru Nanak Ji. His name was Mardana. And then one of the guys said to Mardana, you know, go get some water. There's some water. They were in the Himalayas, I believe, so it was snowy. He said, go get some water from down the hill or the mountain. It's really good water. And then he went, and then he's getting water, and then there's this big bull that is looking at him and keeps charging for him. And then eventually there's a another bull that comes and saves him, which I believe to be Guru Nanak Ji, right? And then he eventually brings the water up, and then, you know, those two people, they realize, whoa, we've been caught. How did he survive? He was supposed to die. Because what they did was they had done black magic on the animals as well. So not only can you do black magic on people, but you can do it on animals, and you use them, right? I mean, yeah, like the whole lost souls thing, it's usually jinns that people, for example, I know that's believed in Islam, like jinns that you can take and then you can use them to do your dirty work for you. You know why it is? It's because powers, right? Supernatural powers, these things are available for everybody, and you don't necessarily have to be a kind, compassionate, loving person to have these things. You just do your sadhana, right? You do your spiritual practice, you build up your energies, your powers, and then you can use them how you want to use them. But I mean, we would be really silly to think that we can have these powers, do these things, affect people in a negative way, and not experience consequences. Like, the consequences must be vast, right? You're coming back for lifetimes to like, I guess, repent that. Maybe Austin, you turned the whole job upside down. Why? What did Austin say? Did Aleister Crowley do it too? What? Wait, why are we talking about Aleister Crowley? Did you get COVID jab? No. Why does God hurt them? Who does black magic to kill us? It's processing. Okay, speaking of black magic, right now, black magic is but can do nothing. It's the turn of God. Exactly. Nowadays, people use pictures. It was in Yogananda's biography. His Guru Sri Yukteswar used to teach about the power of different gems to protect against sickness. Wow. And what gems did he say do this? I still have to read the book, actually. And that's so interesting that it's his Guru Sri Yukteswar, because I've seen pictures. I usually go on Pinterest, and my Pinterest has like pictures of different like Anandamai Mai, Mahavdar Babaji, and then Sri Yukteswar Ji, and some others that I don't know the names of. That was really ritualistic. It was crazy. The whole world line to get that jab. All of a sudden, the government cares about your health, like the mask up now. Oh, shut my lord. That is, wow. I didn't realize that that was a ritual as well, like jabbing yourself. I didn't think of it in that way, but I mean, most things are very ritualistic. I mean, even they say the like, if we get into Hollywood, you know, the whole where the whole of Hollywood does black magic, right? Where the men wear skirts and stuff, and they, you know, there's humiliating behavior that goes on where they get humiliated, and like even Doja Cat, right? Her vibe completely changed. I'm not really that into Hollywood or music and stuff like that, but I know a little bit. Where Doja Cat, like the music that they make, do you even listen to the lyrics? Like, people just listen to music just like willy-nilly, you know? Are you hearing what the vibe is? Are you hearing what is being said? Are you really understanding this? Because music, it is casting a spell, you know? You're rehearsing it, and most of the time you don't even know what's being said. I never used to know what's being said. That's why I try to be very careful about what I listen to. Also, because it repeats in your mind. If you have like awareness, you realize that songs repeat in your mind all the time. You remember them, right? In fact, how Indian women have bindi to protect from black magic. Yeah, I learned that. It's so interesting. See, I'm godly. My mom says don't wear a black bindi, because this area is meant to be full of light, right? So when we wear a black bindi, it brings darkness to it. Is that true? But if you want to know who did, I will say black magic can be done to someone with the help of their blood, hair, cloth, or somebody which is very close to the body. Search for that guy, is very close. Yeah. Oh no. What is the relationship between black magic and the devil? I don't believe in the devil. I guess the devil just represents the duality of energy, one being like high vibrational and positive, and one being negative and dark. Did you think black magic can be used for good of some sort? No, you don't need black magic is dark magic, you know. There is good magic, there is white magic that you can do for the good for yourself, right? There's no need to use black magic ever. Why would you even? I don't even know. That stuff scares me. I wouldn't even touch it with a pole, okay? It's just not a red or black dot on forehead. It has so many purposes. Our Indian tradition, man, getting chills. It's very true. I want to be rich and spiritual. Love that for you. Oh, sapphires. Okay, Greg. I have to go now. Have a beautiful day long today, by the way. Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for staying for so long. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. I like to understand everything you're saying, but I only understand a little of what I hear, and I'm frustrated because I'd like to participate in the conversation and understand you. It's so interesting because your English is immaculate. Maybe this is an invitation to learn it more fluently, right? Or I will have to you learn English, or I have to go and learn some French. Thank you, Elijah. Bro, it happened in my family a month ago. How can I know who did this to a family? Wow. Gaming institution, jeez. I guess you can find out by going to someone who's in tune, like spiritually enlightened, maybe a guru or someone, you know, who can see. There are people who can tell you. I'm going to learn English so I can communicate with you, listen to your conversation, which seems very, very interesting. Oh, yes, okay. I'm wonderful today. How are you? Hi, Noah. Can I know who did this? Do you have a very clear mind and a very bright, confident energy today, like you are doing more good for yourself? I'm glad to see it. Oh, thank you, Theo. Thank you so much. You know, when you... I just have my priorities set in life. Let me just put it that way. I just have my priorities set in life. And it's not even a conscious decision. It's something that I'm just drawn to do. And yeah, you know, I saw this post about your aura and like what makes your aura glow. And it's people who in private do things that are loving to them. You speak lovingly to yourself. You know, you treat yourself with love. You take care of yourself. These things, they brighten your aura. You know, they make you shine. Because the way that we are, the way that we look shows us how we treat ourselves. And you know, I feel every day I'm just so blessed because I understand life just a little bit more better and better, and I see myself better, and I see, you know, just things become more and more, like I have more and more clarity, which helps. You know, a lot of people are in a state of confusion because they don't know the truth. They haven't found God yet. They don't have that connection. They don't have that level of devotion yet. They're just kind of lingering in this world, lost a little bit. And I'm so glad that that's not me. You know, I feel all those gurus who are fake, who just need money. You know, one thing with gurus, like a rule that I have with gurus, right, is that what are they teaching you? Are they teaching you to go outside of you? Because God can only be found within you. God is something to be experienced. God is something to be felt. And you can only feel things within you, right? If someone says, come here, do this ritual, do this, go put some, you know, dig up a plant and plant it somewhere else, or give us money and then we'll do this, or whatever it is, unless they're telling you to be connected to God, be connected to yourself, right, that they don't really need anything from you. But of course, if someone is giving you their wisdom, right, it is good to give diksha. I think it's diksha, right? It's like to give them money, right? Because we're showing them that we value you, of course. But there are subtleties that exist. I mean, I feel that, what energy are you going there with? Are you going with desperation? Because when you're desperate, you're bound to get manipulated by people. Anybody who doesn't push you inwards is manipulating you. That's the way I see it. Have I heard of Swami Nityananda? I have not. Tell me more. Saw you in England, eh? Isn't that place getting flooded with immigrants and protesting hard? See, I don't know, because I don't watch the news. Second of all, the only thing that exists is the thing that I'm observing right now. Nothing else outside of my observation exists. So, no, not in my reality. Goldie bro, how can someone do this? Seriously, not apply. Probably she lost life and hours from being healthy. He is fake, said Swami Nityananda. Oh, so this is the Swami who's done black magic? See, the thing is, this is why I say you have to... Okay. You have to be connected to yourself, okay? But not everybody has that. So what I would say is, if you have had something like black magic done to you, remember the truth, okay? That this is happening for a reason. That this person attracted it into their life. Like, for example, what I'm seeing is judging people for not doing what you do. Mike, maybe that's your that's your perception, right? And that's your truth, and that's okay. Thank you. But yeah, look, things happen to people for a reason, you know? I don't believe in pity. When you can see the truth, why would you pity someone? You can see that something is happening for a reason. Like, for example, enlightened beings, you know? I don't think that a lot of the time, that they would, you know, always rush to heal someone, surely, because then you're interrupting their karma, right? And maybe someone needs to see something through so that they can learn. Like, for example, with myself, I'm glad that no one just came in and just like instantly healed me when I was suffering, because what would I have learned from that? I probably would have ended up suffering again. It's like this whole idea of you know, like a lottery winner. So a lot of people, when they win the lottery, because they're not used to that kind of money, they can't handle it. Their container, we all have a specific container, right? For our like how much money we're able to contain and hold safely, how much love we can receive, how much success we can receive, how much we can allow ourselves to be seen. So everybody has a specific container depending on how their life was. So with lottery winners, right, a lot of them, their container for how much money they can hold, how much abundance they can hold is small. So when they get money, that money doesn't help them. Instead, it works out worse for them. They become, you know, bankrupt or something like that. So they were worse off winning the lottery than they were not winning the lottery. And that sounds crazy, right? But it makes sense, because it's your container. Can you handle it? Where are you in life? It's very specific to everybody. Priya, don't even Google Swami Nityananda. You know, thank you, Eli. It's so interesting because I actually like things like cults really interest me, because I like looking at how, like, I like looking at the psychology behind people who control and manipulate other people. I mean, firstly, so I can watch out for it so it doesn't happen to me. Second of all, it's really intriguing. how do you get it into people's heads? How do you make them act in the way that you want them to act? And I think it's important maybe for people to be aware of that, you know, like how it works. For example, someone who's being abused, they may not see the signs of abuse, right? Because you could say, oh, you know, he just beats me on Mondays, but on Tuesday he tells me he loves me. You know, on Wednesday he kicks me out the house, but on Thursday we get to sleep in the bed together. You know, because at that time your mind is really fragile. Sorry, I think we might have to go. Are we going? Oh, now? To 4. Okay, come. Let's go. What is it?
4 baje di hai.
Okay. So, we're late.
Yeah.
Well, you should have told me.
I texted you.
Oh. You didn't text.
You have like 50 phones there. Did you not check one of them?
Yeah, but it doesn't come through this one.
Which one did it? That one?
Yeah, it came through that one.
You don't get notifications.
No, I do, but I don't think I saw it.
Right, so it's your fault.
It just said that you okay, this song is like, why is it playing? Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Okay, yes. I'm gonna have to go to wants to relatives, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go now. Okay, I have a movie to go watch. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being present. Thank you for my mods. And I hope to see you soon. Hi. See you. Have a blessed day, you also.